My name is Tony DeShane. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and I wrote about it. One lone pubic hair sprung out of my baby's smooth pelvis area. I didn't even see it start to grow. It just made its appearance and told me more were coming. I raised my hand to my cheek and felt for hair, and there was no stubble. One pubic hair below, adulthood cometh. I had a crush on every girl. There was Olivia from history class who stood a foot taller than me. I liked Allison, who said hi to me one time in pre-algebra. I was so nervous I turned around and walked away. I thought she was going to make fun of me for being a Jehovah's Witness. I couldn't understand why a pretty girl would want to talk to me. Allison and her friend giggled at me, and that was my last chance with them. Jennifer Hansen told me that Camille from our congregation had a crush on me. The next day I sprung into action as my lone pubic hair goaded me to. What do you do if you know for sure that a girl likes you? You ask her to go steady. It's the most important thing I learned from 8th grade, from the worldly kids. And anyone who was worldly wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. Jennifer and Camille were Jehovah's Witnesses. I needed to kiss someone. Everyone else was kissing each other at school, and I saw it all over the hallways. Every girl I had a chance to kiss was worldly, and I would always walk away when they would try to talk to me. I was a nervous wreck when it came to girls. A few more pubic hairs, my confidence may have been brought up. Or a mustache. Ben, the Spanish kid in homeroom, had a mustache. He kissed lots of girls. No mustache, one pubic hair, and Camille liked me. Her breasts were starting to show themselves. She had full lips over those crooked teeth. Having a girlfriend and show my classmates that being a Jehovah's Witness didn't mean I was a fag like they would sometimes call me. Camille liked me. It'd clear up a lot of embarrassing things. So after typing my essay on the importance of the history of the American flag in my typewriting class, I put another piece of paper on the typewriter and I wrote, "Dear Camille, will you go steady with me? From Gay." My hand shook from nerves as I slipped the note into her locker. Once the note disappeared into the air vent of that dark space of her locker, the deal was done. I saw her the next day. She smiled at me. The biggest smile I'd ever seen from her, showing all of her crooked teeth. Usually she smiled with her lips shut, hiding the teeth, but she showed them to me and I waited for her answer. She said, "Hi," and touched my arm. No girl ever touched my arm like that. It was electric. I guess I needed that first pubic hair to get the arm touch. My pubic hair and that arm touch worked its way to my mouth. "Come here," I said. She followed me out the hallway doors and we turned the corner. There was a secluded area where no one could see us, with a couple of stairs that led to the janitor's office. The door was closed and we sat on the steps. We stared into each other's eyes. I thought I was going to faint, but I didn't. I reached over and I put my hand on hers and I let it stay there. She smiled. I couldn't hold her unblinking gaze and she looked away. I was nervous. It was getting excited down there. Hand-holding is related to dating and being engaged. In the eyes of the congregation, we were too young to do either. I got scared and I put her hand back on her lap. We sat there for a few minutes in silence. "Let's go," I said. Camille was my girlfriend. See, being a Jehovah's Witness doesn't mean you're a fag. I got home from school and Mom was awake. She had my note asking Camille to go steady. Betrayed. How in the... Mom told me about dating and courtship and how I wasn't old enough to date. I needed to be at least 18, and if I wanted to start dating Camille before then, it could lead to fornication and I could be kicked out of the congregation, disfellowshipped. She told me that Serena, Camille's mom, was really upset about the note and how I was pursuing her daughter. Mom saw right through my pants to my long pubic hair. pubic hair led me in the wrong direction. Dad called me into his bedroom. He had a Bible in his hand and that Kingdom Hall elder look in his eyes. I heard about Camille, he said. Yeah, old news. Did you touch her? My heart raced. Did Camille tell her we held hands? How bad was that? He didn't answer, but my red face filled in the blanks. If I was hooked up to a lie detector, it would read off the page screaming, he touched her. They held hands. A lone call, the elders. I'm going to ask you again. And keep in mind that if you tell me the truth, Jehovah and the elders will consider it a confession, and it'll be better for you. Then he bent over close and looked me right in the eyes while I tried to avoid his stare and looked at the ceiling. Did you touch her? I burst into tears. He just watched as I sobbed, and I finally let out. Yes, I touched her. Then waited for the wheels of justice to turn. He looked at me disappointed, heavy in the face. I could lose my position as an elder because of this, he said. I didn't realize how far the hurt would go because of my sin. I didn't realize that the pleasure of me and Camille would affect anyone other than us. Camille's mom needs to know. I nodded my head slowly. It was the beginning of the end. Where did you touch her? It was painful to tell Dad. By the stairs near the janitor's office at school. Was it her breast or her vagina? I looked at him confused. I touched her hand. We held hands. And that's all we did. It didn't even occur to me that Camille had a vagina. I haven't thought that far ahead. If I called Camille right now, she'd say the same thing. He said, where's the lie detector? I'll pass with flying colors. Yes, call her. You thought we went to third base? I just needed to know, he said. He read me a few paragraphs from the youth book published by the Watchtower Society about holding hands and how it could lead to fornication. And it could lead to other sins like fondling breasts and touching vaginas. You're not going to call the elders, I asked? I don't need to, he said. I made a mental note of that for future reference. All right, so that's the book.